Hi guys, welcome back to Kpop Talks. I'm your host Larian, and today we're gonna do our weekly K-pop recap of the new comebacks, and it's gonna be the first week of July. And there isn't a lot of music, so I just want to get out of it and do a very quick video. And let's start really quick with Hypen with Future Perfect. The song is obviously inspired by Mic Drop and any really hip-hop type of song that BTS has done, but in here they use somewhat of a grime beat, kind of like the beats that Pop Smoke used to do a lot, rest in peace. And the rapping is sick, the vocal parts, there isn't a lot of them, they're good. Overall the song is enjoyable. It's a different type of Hypen track. We see show a little bit of versatility, but not stray away too much from what they do already, so I think it's really good personally. Next we have Eating with Love Wrestler, featuring Nectar. This is a very interesting song. It's very experimental, it's kind of all over the place. Production wise, the songs love to really go, up and down, left and right. They love experimenting with different types of sounds. The vocals work really good. The storytelling also through the music video is very vivid. I personally enjoyed it, but it's a very weird track, and I can see a lot of people being weirded out about the production specifically, in my opinion. Next we have 10 cm with Gradation. I mean, if you ever heard of the 10 cm song, this is the most 10 cm song ever. From the vocals, the guitar, the production, the chorus. It's a classic song. It's enjoyable. Again, I'm not the biggest fan of 10 cm, but if you like him, you're probably gonna enjoy this song as well, personally. I believe that. And next we have Jhope with More. Jhope is an artist I really enjoy. I've enjoyed it. I think everything he has done individually, like even Chicken Noodle Soup, I enjoyed. But this More is a very weird song. I didn't expect him to go the rock side in here. So obviously the parts where he raps, the hip hop beat he does great, but the rest of the song to me is very disappointing. It feels very disjointed, and on top of feeling very disjointed, I mean, you look at it and you're like, what's the point of this change of style? You could have kept it and gotten away with the same lyrics and same concept. So I respect trying something different, but I think here it was a miss, unfortunately. I believe that. Next we have Mark 1 with I Miss You So Much. It's a good song. It's definitely the more mainstream sounding song he has released from the production and everything, but I think it's a very solid song personally. Is it one of my favorites from him? No, but again, it's a little bit of versatility here, again similar to the two previous hype artists we've seen. So personally, not the biggest fan of it, but it's enjoyable. Can't say it's objectively because I don't think it is objectively bad. So I mean, it's a solid track. I'm not gonna go back to it at all. Next we have Soseo with You Are Already the Best of Me. Best for me, not for me, my bad. You're already the best for me. It's a good song. I think it's a really good song. Personally, not the biggest fan of the production because it's overly simple, but if you like ballads and if you like the type of music with a little bit more of a pop, modern pop, kind of like a mainstream pop sound to it, just a little bit, not so much, I think this song is for you. But I mean, it's a great song, great vocals as always. It always has this classic, ballad music videos where it's the city and the cars passing through the highway and the singer normally under the bridge alone on stairs. I love this type of sceneries. They remind me a lot of my favorite Asian movies a lot of times. So, it's specifically Chinese movies in this case, but I love it, this type of imagery. So the music video really adds that feeling a lot to me personally. But I enjoy it. I'm growing to love ballads a little bit more. What can I say? Next we have T1419 with The Sun Goes Down. Now the cool thing about this is they sing in Spanish. The song itself is boring. I'm not a fan of Latin music, but specifically this song is very forgettable to me personally. Again, it's one of the worst ones of this week. I have to say that. I think so personally. Next we have Rainbow Note with Dawn. This is a very city pop sounding song, 90s 80s city pop. The vocals are good, the song is simple. Again, it has this very throwback classic kind of nostalgia trip to it. It's a very enjoyable song. I can definitely see myself listening to it on the car at night and enjoy it, really relaxing me on my driveway to whatever. So I really like it. Again, for what it is, I think it's very enjoyable personally. On Your Life Goes On, I'm personally not a fan of this comeback. I find this comeback to be a little bit lacking, in my opinion. and not because it's bad or anything, but it feels like it's very incomplete, and it feels kind of out of place even for someone like Onyu. Onyu came back recently with a very enjoyable song, but this one for me is just a really big miss. I don't like it, I'm sorry. Next we have Mad, the student with Changkia with Pseudoscience. It's a good song. I think it's a good song personally. It's a little bit out there. There's some hip hop, there's some pop, R&B. The song is very, very particular, I would say. You know, it's kind of like a very alternative hip hop song in my opinion, but it's very enjoyable. Now that I remember, there's also a lot of spoken words in here, specifically by Changkia, but it's a very interesting song, personally. It's not for everybody. Personally, I would not go back to it, but I appreciate the effort of bringing something a little bit different, you know, to this genre, at least in Korea, which, you know, it's interesting to see, especially in the last year or so. There's more artists coming out right now with this type of music, which is interesting. Next we have Winner with I Love You. It's a fine comeback. Personally, it's a classic summer song in that sense for them. They always come back around this time, but out of all the ones they've done, probably this is my least favorite. I mean, I still think Island, it's very hard to do better than that, because it was a good balance of Winner's style and also really following more of a mainstream appeal. Here, I think they're not doing that as well. I think in this song specifically, there's elements here where I feel personally where the what do you call it, the mainstream appeal here is way more overbearing comparing to their own aesthetic, you know. But this is obviously a type of comic that they probably didn't work too much on. It's a comic to celebrate kind of them all coming back together after a long time, so I'm not gonna be mad about it. It's just that I think they could have done a better job in my opinion. Next we have MCND with Mood. It's the same thing they've been doing since they debuted, and this song is doing way worse than the others if my memory is not fucking with me. It's a fun pop hip hop song, groovy, aggressive, you know, very like you know, chorus to dance to, you know. But it's something they've done already a lot of times, so it kind of gets repetitive. Again, it's not bad by any means, but at this point, I personally grew tired a little bit of this style. Personally, it's I think the genre is oversaturated with this, so, you know, it's not bad, but I'm tired of this stuff. Really, I've heard too many of these things in the last 3 or 4 years. Too much. Next we have Kang Daniel, Don't Tell featuring Jesse. This is a range. This is what I was talking about. He's able to do the more pop club bangers and give something like this a little bit more R&B, more sexy, more elegant, you know. And Jesse brings a great vibe, brings definitely more of an aggressive vibe that's needed from this song, and Kang Daniel gives you the great vocals with also a pretty solid part and a fun chorus. And Jesse killed it. It's great to see Jesse do a great feature artist, and she's been featuring with a lot of young artists, which is cool, and unknown artists, you know. She's using her success to prop other up, and that's cool to see in my opinion. Next is WJSN with Last Sequence. I really enjoy this comeback. This is right down their alley. They've done this stuff for so long at this point, you know, and it's been at this point 3 years I think they've been doing this type of style. I think they do it very, very well. The chorus is not the best part. I would say the rest of the song is really good. I think the production is really good, and I really enjoyed it. It's one of my favorites of this week, 100%. I really like it. Next we have What and Hue with Handsome. It's a pretty good hip hop track. The production is sick, the rapping is slick, it's aggressive at the right point, and the song is not feeling overbearing even though there's a lot of things happening. So I personally really enjoyed it. It's a great hip hop track. There's been a lot of really good hip hop in Korea right now, so I'm happy about that personally. Vivid with Love Aid. This is definitely a reminder of the old G Friend, and it's cool. I think it's a cool callback without really obviously copycatting styles. It definitely fits with Bob and what they've been trying to do, but at the same time, it has a little bit of the throwback for the fans. I personally really enjoy it, and I don't know in terms of number how good it is. It gets a couple of million views. I personally really like it, but you know, I don't know if this is the songs that are gonna grow them in popularity, because K-pop right now is in my opinion, somewhat of a weird place. And as we keep talking about insane godly hip hop, we have to talk about Ho with EXS. This guy's fucking good. Great beat, grimy as fuck, great rapping. I love it. He hasn't stopped doing good music since he has debuted as a solo artist. It's pretty fucking crazy, and he only has gotten better, not only as a soloist but as a collab artist. in features. I'm really impressed. His come up is sick, and he's doing it in a small label. It's great to see, you know, an artist coming up and being great at making music, you know, and not going so-called the easy route, which could be AOMG or, you know, any other major label. Ameba, and I think he's under Ameba if I'm not mistaken, right? He's under Ameba, but Ameba is a way smaller company than AOMG, you know. So he's doing it there, and he's doing it on his own. It gets 500,000 views. I'm pretty sure a lot of young people in their 20s like them, so like him, and deserves to so, and it's just gonna grow. He's super fucking young, so I'm definitely hyped for him and his future. And next we have Jhope with Every Time. I think it's a pretty good song, classic Jhope. I don't really want to talk too much about it. I enjoyed it, and I think you should as well. Next we have Highkey with Run. Really like this. Next we have Highkey with Run. I really like this personally. I think this is a great summer song to follow the debut. While the production is a little bit mediocre, the traits that make this group very stand out a lot to me are still there, which is their attitude, the way they approach a song, the rapping, the attitude, the singing, the vocal, the inflections are still there. It feels to a lot like an Highkey song, even though it's trying to do something a little different, reaching a different type of audience and showing range without losing your originality. Having said all of that, I think it's a great sign as a group when you can take something mediocre like this production, or at least this somewhat anonymous production, and enhance it with the ability of your artists. And they have that on lock. They have these girls that are really likable. They could be the new HC star, you know. It's 4 of them. They all look very different. Obviously, a huge selling point of these videos are their sexiness as well, and their looks. And so they have that, you know. Even this girl right now, she looks a lot like Bora, for example. So it's an interesting thing, I feel like. But regardless of that, the song is enjoyable. I think it is. And the girls have done a great job. One of the most interesting groups to see in the next 2-3 years and see where they're going. And hopefully they're going towards the right direction. I mean, having said all of that, it's very hard for me to see, you know, a lot of young girl groups that are as interesting as this coming from a very small company. And this was it for the first part of July. There isn't much to say. I think overall was fine. There wasn't a lot of highlights for me, but there was no lows. Tell me what were your favorites of this week. Let me know in the comments, and see you next time in the comment section. See you next time in the next video, and leave a comment, talk about it, share. It'll be very much appreciated. See you next time.